A big Who Dey out there, everybody. It is Talkin Bengals, and a big victory came this Saturday as the Bengals beat a winning team for the first time this season as they took out the Broncos 30-24 in what was one of the craziest games. I feel like we're saying that every week now. It's getting ridiculous. But it was one of the craziest games. It had a lot of explanations that we're going to get into and, figure out what happened, where, and when. But first off, I got to say who my two co-hosts are tonight. We got Nick and Burnsy with us. So how you guys doing?
Who Dey, baby. Hey, Zach, I like your hat.
Hey,
I
me.
like your hat.
Yeah, I'll just turn it around so that way they can see the other side.
A little salute to the troops. A little salute to the service.
I need to get me one of those hats so we can all look cool together.
They're team hats. I don't know if you noticed this, but they wear these on the sidelines.
Yeah, pretty cool. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
They should wear it more than just November, though. They should wear it whenever they want to.
They should. It's probably their best swag of the year.
We are here to interview as a team, Casey.
Hooray! Hey, you know what? Nobody told me. I didn't get the memo, so my bad.
I think I can help with the pan situation.
All right, we're off the rails. Let's get going.
Already, we're not even a minute in, and we have already missed our first
45
topic. Our first topic is cheers and jeers. And starting it off, we will have Burnsy. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to take two because you can't talk about one without the other, and that is Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. Joe Burrow going 39 for 49, 412, 3 touchdowns, rushed 4 times for 25 yards, and also had another touchdown. Big game for him. 8-game streak of 250 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. So shout out to Joe for that one.
NFL record continues.
Making the case for the MVP even more prominent. Then on the other side, we have T. Higgins, the dynamic duo, which is interesting that it's this version of Robin. It's like Tim Drake Robin. It's not Dick Grayson Robin. We have T. Higgins, 11 catches, 131, all 3 of those receiving touchdowns, especially the big one at the end. However, the bigger catch, though, was the play right before it. Yeah. That's going to get forgotten about at some point because all you're going to see is him catching the touchdown pass in overtime, which was a phenomenal catch in itself as well. But phenomenal game by T, big playoff game. It felt like that the whole time. He fumbled it, what ended up being what should have been an incomplete pass. He jumped off sides on that one play on overtime, and it totally redeemed himself on the very next play. So
redeemed yourself.
So good on him, good on T. And you just got to pay the man. You got to pay him, and you got to play Chase. So
we have a shirt that's an homage to that right now out there. It's better in Cincinnati. We have T. Higgins holding a Skyline Chili 3-way. Hey, or Gold Star. I'm a Gold Star guy today. Everybody else on the show likes Skyline, and that's who sponsors the Bengals right now. But yeah, better in Cincinnati. Get your shirt. Show support for T. Get out there and get it. So Zach, what is your jeer for this week?
Well, my notes that I wrote down on Saturday night was actually Cochran. However, coming back and looking at the pass blocking gradings, it actually goes to Jerome Ford. Or is it Jerome Ford? No, it's not Jerome Ford. That's Cody Ford. Sorry, I'm thinking fantasy football here. Jerome Ford did not play very well for us on Sunday too for the Browns. But Cody Ford and Alex Kappa, the guard plays just continues to be the biggest downfall of this entire offensive line. So shame on them. Be better.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad out there, and I'm going to jump in next with mine. So we've already talked about the awesomeness that was Chase and Burrow, but there was another awesome guy out there by the name of Jamar Chase who quietly had a really nice game, 9 receptions for 102 yards, and sets the Bengals single season receptions record at 117 and counting because we still got one game left to go. So Jamar is definitely going to be my cheer. And for my jeer, it's beginning to seem like a pattern here if you've been following this. Miles Murphy, his stat line is incredible. Absolutely incredible. You guys want to hear this? Total tackles, 0. Assisted tackles, 0. Sacks, 0. Forced fumbles, 0. Anything that matters in the game of football, 0. Nothing. And people say, well, he was in position and helped some people out here and there or whatever. It didn't make it on the stat sheet. That's like saying you hit a really great line drive to the right fielder. It still doesn't show as anything positive on the stat sheet. It is what it is. You got to make plays. That's what makes you money in the NFL. Miles Murphy, bust. There's no other way to say it. He is a bust. Nick, go ahead and redeem us with happiness. Maybe start with your jeer
Casey,
and then end with your cheer.
Miles Murphy just hit a really long foul ball. Okay, it's just a really long strike.
Just straighten it out, right? Just give him like 50 more bats. He'll straighten it out. It worked for Davis and Baltimore. Just keep putting him on the field. He'll eventually get a hit.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Anyways, back to something that's actually going to happen. I'll start off with my jeer, and it's the kicking game. And it's not Rico. It's not Rico whatsoever. All right, Rico, the rookie, it's not him. Even when he fumbled the snap when we played the Ravens and McPherson goes kick the ball, he is still able to recover, put the ball down for him to kick the ball. Right? He's still able to think on his feet. It is our place kicking period. And not even talking about kickoffs because they've been killing it on kickoffs. Freaking field goals, chip shot field goals. What are we doing? You have one job. I'm not able to repeat what Joe Burrow said on the sideline because we're trying to keep it PG or under.
One
but
job.
You
was
have
that Joe?
one job.
I don't think. Well, I think it was a fan.
I think it was a fan that just got picked up by the thing.
But
it would be the story would be more epic if it was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, you have one job. You kick a ball. You kick a ball through those nice yellow uprights that are also straight across with a crossbeam. Kick the ball. The crossbar and two uprights.
The kicking topic, I'm going to jump in real quick before we get to your cheer, which will totally redeem the rest of this game, by the way. But, yeah, kicking on 3rd and 3, I've been able to understand the logic a little bit more now. I've listened to people. Basically, Zach Taylor overcorrected. It was 3rd and 3, and he wanted to make sure if the snap was fumbled like it was against Baltimore, that they'd get one more shot at, just fall on the ball and try again on the next snap. That is the most conservative response I have ever seen to a mistake. You have a quarterback who is dominating. You have a receiver who's done. Two receivers, honestly, that are having great games. Your tight end's playing well. Your third receiver had a touchdown that got called back because of a illegal shift. On 3rd down and 3, why aren't you letting your quarterback win the game? When will he learn that lesson? Let your quarterback win the game.
All right. So I'm going to kind of have like a 2 cheer type of thing, right? Maybe even bring in 3. Who knows? 3 cheers, whatever. So defense stepping up, not on the last drive of the game, but in overtime, right? Stepping up in overtime and doing something when it really mattered. That was huge. Pratt's huge interception. That was huge. And really just stepping up in key times. This is what we were asking for. A mediocre at best defense. And we're getting it. And look what happens. Joe Burrow's able to win a game. Not only is he able to win a game, but look at our wide receiver 3. It's a toss-up between Yoshi and freaking Mikey G.
Mm-hmm. Looks nice.
I mean, you got a tight end who's a solid wide receiver 3. That's freaking amazing. I mean, not only is he a good freaking tight end that can catch a ball, but he can also run it out of the slot. Or he can possibly throw a little chip shoulder block and run it out through the flats. I don't know. I don't think you get much better. You got Yoshi, who has a game high. I can't remember how many yards it was, but it was like his highest yardage game, wasn't it? This past week.
Well, I don't know if it was his best week, but let's see, 3 catches, 59 yards. So I would say that's up there.
I mean, that's not a bad week for a wide receiver 3/4, possibly.
No.
I mean, when you're playing on a team with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and you still get 50-something yards, that's pretty good.
Well, you brought up Mike Gesicki. So he had 10 catches, 86 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So from his position, I love the fact that we incorporated them in the offense, knowing that they're going to double Jamar, they're going to double T, and Joe just let it rip and gave it to them. What is that, 13 for, let's see if I can do quick math here. That's a 5, 145 yards
Yeah,
between the two of them.
Wow. And Zach can do math.
that's
Right.
2 drives. That's
Yeah.
that's 2 drives where you're scoring touchdowns.
Well, should have been scoring touchdowns because
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there on the first two fourth down conversion plays in the first quarter. That was kind of crazy. But again, we got the victory that we wanted.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's get into that. So there's the decision making in this game left you wondering. I mean, we talked about the kicking a field goal on 3rd and 3, which I was livid. I think we were all livid, and I don't understand. You want to say you get Zach's justification, but at the same point, like, that is the most playing not to lose thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the most Marvin Lewis thing I've ever seen. Like, golly, just
No, that's worse than Marvin. Marvin would never kick it on 3rd and 3.
No. Why would you kick? Just go for it. Just go for it. Literally, if you get 3 yards, you can still get a touchdown. A touchdown wins the game. So, anyways, let's not keep beating that to death. Let's move into the first 4th down. What the heck was that play call?
What is it? 4th and 3? 4th and 2?
At this 4th and 2, and they run a bad play. And then the next one is 4th and a yard, an entire full yard, and you try to do a run up the gut, which I don't even know the last time the Bengals got a 4th and 1 running it up the gut.
I mean, I like the call. I like the play, not necessarily the play itself, but giving the ball to Chase Brown, who has deserved getting reps and repetitions, which he had 20 carries on the day for 67 yards. So shout out to him. Hopefully that ankle is better for Saturday. But man, it didn't make sense, especially when you put Jamar. You line up in an I formation with Jamar as the H-back, and then Chase as the fullback. Do a fake to Chase and give it to Jamar.
Yeah,
flip it to him and let him
run a triple option.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice.
They ran an option play to freaking Chase Brown later in the game.
That is true. I forgot
That's
about that.
That's perfect. You run a triple option on 4th and 1. Pro football teams are not designed to guard against that.
No, that's a good call. I mean, it was Khalil Herbert, not Chase Brown, but it was a good call to get a triple option in there. I mean, do something different than what's expected is what we're basically saying. And 4th and 1, I'm sorry, if it's within a yard, why don't we just follow what the Eagles do and just do a tush push? It works most of the time.
Casey, our guards are a problem.
He's right, but Casey's also right.
Yeah. Well, you don't need guards when you have Alex Kappa or not. Yeah, Kappa, and just go right behind it. Ted Karras. There we go. Ted Karras. Dang. I'm sick, ladies and gentlemen. My brain is only half functioning tonight.
We'll blame it on that.
Tush push right behind Karras. It's a yard. If he just falls forward, he gives Burrow that 3 feet he needs to pick up a yard.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody's pushing his rear end a little bit forward, then there you go. Makes sense to me. But yeah, I don't mind I was a little bit upset at first when I saw they were going for it on the 4th downs just because, you were down by 3 points. And then I forgot we had Cade York kicking the ball. And, yeah, I wouldn't kick it either. I mean, to be honest with you, we're not kicking another field goal at all on Saturday. We're going for it on 4th down. I don't care what part of the field we're at.
I think we're going for 2 every play, too.
Yeah, good Lord. You got to.
Hey, he has made extra points.
Yeah, I mean, he's made extra points, but, I mean,
you're kicking in Pittsburgh in January. Yeah,
lots of wind, possibly snow, rain, something bad. Just go for it.
I mean, it sits just right next to where Three Rivers used to be. That's a wind tunnel. That's why Boswell is so good. I hate giving the Steelers any type of praise, but Boswell is their most consistent player, and he has been for more than almost 2 decades at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's a good kicker.
So got to give him that. Also, can we talk about Khalil Herbert for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
We dogged this trade. We were like, what are we doing? He's not getting any snaps, anything like that. He had 4 carries for 21 or 22 yards the rest of the season from the trade to overtime.
Yeah.
He had 4 carries for 22 yards. He had 4 carries for 23 yards, and the man looked good. It was like when he broke out as a rookie in Chicago, and it was like, oh my God, Duke Tobin maybe made a steal of his century because he stepped in and filled that role for Chase Brown for a minute, at least on the eye test of yesterday or on Saturday, excuse me.
And you know what the best part of that is? We didn't have to see Travion Williams.
When they brought him in with 7 seconds left, I went, oh, we just lost the game. We just lost the game.
Somehow Travion's going to mess up this entire game in this one kneel down. I don't know what he's going to do, but somehow he's going to screw it up for us.
I'm sorry, Trey. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, you probably don't even care about us or anything that we do, but
he probably does not. He's like, hey, there's 3 guys that aren't playing in the NFL smack talking me again. And I mean, I'll give him credit for having a very long NFL career where it is totally not justified or warranted.
I mean, it's almost like RIP to Jared Lorenzen, but all those years he was the New York backup, got a Super Bowl ring out of it.
Yep.
Played maybe like 18 snaps his entire career. So
hey, sometimes you just got to fly under the radar.
I only got a wedding band. I don't have any rings, so that's one more than I got.
Yeah, touche it is. Oh goodness! So moving on into looking at the other crazy aspects of this game. T. Higgins, I do think we got to touch on a little bit more because he gave us the biggest cheers and the biggest like, oh my God, are you kidding me moments of the entire game. So let's go back to the fumble. How in the heck did that one occur? I mean, and did the refs get it right by giving Denver the ball? Because as far as I've known, when you blow a play dead before anyone takes possession of it, how can you give the other team possession? So what are your all's thoughts?
First of all, I didn't even think that it was a fumble. I don't think he made a football move after he had possession of the ball. He was in the process of creating the third step when the ball came out. Don't think that was a fumble. I'm sorry. I don't care who wants to argue that. I don't see where that third step to make the football move happened. Next, completely agree. When you blow the play dead and then some random person gets the ball after the whistle's already blown the play dead, the ball's down. He's down by contact. At that point, play's over. If it's ruled a fumble, Bengals pick up the ball right where he fumbled.
Yeah, it's weird. I've never seen it like that, though. That was one of the calls where I was like, I'm not sure what their logic is on that.
Yeah, the reffing all year has been atrocious. So,
yeah, and it hasn't just been this game. It's been games all across the league. That's one of those ones you're going to have to look into the rule book a little bit and just wonder, like, what was their justification? One, like you said, Casey, they blew it dead, so by default you would think that would be it. But are they giving it to Denver because the one corner did happen to touch it after they blew it dead? Like, is that the reason why they ended up with the football? I don't remember his number. I think it wasn't Surtain. It was one of the other corners.
Yeah, one of the other guys.
Was it Moss? Maybe, I don't know.
No, it wasn't Moss.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're not going to dog T too much. Everybody fumbles. That was just a very strange situation that I felt like we should get on. And T had a fantastic game. And I mean, which one of y'all's which one of his touchdowns was your guys' favorite?
Oh, mine was the one in overtime by far.
Yep.
I have to go that as well because I had a lot of bent up aggression throughout that entire game and frustration. And I'm trying to watch this game as calmly as possible. Mind you, I also pirate. I live a pirate life out here in Alabama. So my stream kept going in and out. And I'm getting frustrated and it would pause. And I just want to watch the game, right? Freaking, finally just change it over to my phone and I'm watching it on my phone. He catches it. I throw my phone down. I just get all excited. And everybody in my house is like, what just happened? Like, my daughters are like, Dad, did they win or lose?
I will say his catch in the back of the end zone was, I mean, just the late hands to catch the ball. I mean, just the things that T can do is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, he has been healthy pretty much the whole season. You know, the games that he has played were 7-4?
Something like
or
that.
7-1,
7-4. 7-4.
Yeah. So I mean, he obviously makes a huge difference. So when we have T in the game with Jamar Chase, I mean, I take the Bengals all day, every day.
Which is why we need to sign T. He is better in Cincinnati.
So let's think about this, right? We drop Sam Hubbard. We got cap space there. We drop Rankins, right? God bless him. Don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay. And his illness, I hope he recovers and doesn't have any bad side effects from it. But overall, look at the cap space that you're opening up there, and then it'll take a Joe Burrow restructuring his deal.
Well, and you can get rid of Kappa and then go look for a guard in the draft.
Geno Stone. There's all kinds of guys you can get rid of.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't see how Geno Stone does not break up that touchdown pass in the end zone on 4th down.
Or how 2 safeties get burned on a deep touchdown.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that at all.
Oh, yep. All right, we're into it now. Not that we ever played at a high level or not, but Zach and I both played secondary. And I think you probably played safety at some point in your life as well, right?
Yeah.
I haven't.
He did when it was Pop Warner.
Yes. I played safety. Zach's played safety. Nick's always been too big to play anything other than a lineman.
Hey, I played fullback.
Yeah, okay.
And he was the punter.
And punter.
And place kicker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
the lead right here. Anyways, but back to football. Your one job as a safety is not to get beat deep. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It was literally 2 safeties just get split down the middle, and then they look at each other like, oh, crap, and run after him. Zach, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I just don't get it. You know, Geno Stone has had 3 straight games leading into Saturday with an interception. So maybe, he turned it around, and then he regressed, it felt like. Jordan Battle, other than, a couple of those plays, played a pretty decent game. You saw him all over the football field, so it was just weird. I wrote down Saturday that I counted about 4 or 5 snaps by the secondary that they just didn't look great.
Yeah.
But for the other 90 to 92%, depending on how many actual snaps it was, they played a pretty good game all around defense-wise, to go back to what Nick was talking about earlier. So we'll just see where it goes. I think you got to go get a secondary help in the draft as well, or go find a crafty veteran out there that's willing to come here for a little bit less money and not be, in your mid-30s like Geno Stone.
Yeah, you need somebody that's good in quality. And, I mean, we're finally going to move into our second scripted topic. We've had great conversation thus far. But let's go through the playoff picture. And right now, a lot has to happen. We did get a win by the Giants. Great job, Giants. Enjoy your victory there and knocking the Colts out of the playoffs. And the Browns suck. There's no other way to say it. The Browns suck. They couldn't help us out. They didn't do anything to make it a ball game because DTR, is he the worst quarterback that you've ever seen play professional football? He's in the top 20.
I say top 20 for sure. But, I mean, in our lifetime, we've seen Ryan Leaf.
Yeah. Okay.
My guy, Brady Quinn. Let's see. Who also happened to play for Cleveland.
Johnny Manziel, another Cleveland.
Johnny didn't work out very well.
What about Cleveland quarterbacks here?
Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Jeff
You
Blake.
could technically say everybody that played for the Jets in the last decade.
Yeah.
Except for when they go to their new team, they actually play pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, yeah, I feel bad for DTR. He's probably a really nice guy, does the best he can. But he looks like if you put a JV quarterback against a varsity team in high school, and he still looks like a JV quarterback going against an NFL team. That's just, he doesn't look like he knows how to play football. And, I mean, the couple of plays I watched where he did passes, how they weren't intercepted, I don't know, because I knew who he was throwing to before he snapped the ball. He's already like, yep, that guy. Looks at him pre-snap, then comes back, looks at him again, then comes back. Dude, Cleveland just doesn't care. I mean, Stefanski just wants to lose so he can get a better draft pick because they're not going to fire him. And
I don't see them fire him.
He needs a real quarterback. I hope he doesn't get one because we're Bengals fans, not Browns fans. But They didn't help us. But anyway, Zach, talk to us a little bit about what next week's going to look like.
All right, so we still need the Broncos and the Dolphins both to lose. Tua is still listed as doubtful for next week, so that is probable. Plus, I saw a stat today in the last 10 games that the Dolphins have played in cold weather, to including Green Bay last month, they're 1-9. So if it's below 32, they are 1-9 in their last 10 cold games. So they're playing in New York, they're playing in New Jersey. It might bode well for us. Again,
It's going to be cold.
Snoop Huntley actually played a decent game on Saturday or on Sunday, excuse me. We can't figure out what day the NFL wants to play on, so I'm all been out of shape. Plus, we're recording on Monday. Anyway, Broncos, they are most likely getting Carson Wentz along with a bunch of other second and third string players for the Chiefs. Andy Reid's going to try to make sure Carson Wentz looks good, so that way he can figure out which New York job he can take next year. Because I think if he plays halfway decent, he's going to get paid by one of the two. And then we have Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they've regressed over the last month. Mo Egger had talked about it on their show last week. He said, I give it the curse of Hard Knocks, because since the Bengals game and Hard Knocks debuted, they have not looked good. And they did not play well on Christmas. So we'll see what they have with the extra days that they have going on. And then also the Ravens playing the early game, they may not have anything to play for. So they may rest their guys. That's what the talk on all the things as well. But I don't want to take too much away of our stuff for Pittsburgh. But that's just kind of a couple notes there. But what the playoff picture looks like for us. Win and we're in, and the other two have to lose.
Yep. Look at Pittsburgh, and I'll kick it to Nick to do his part of the preview. Got some stats. So the Bengals are not great against Pittsburgh at all. 11-28 since 2000. That's not good. That's really bad. But in the last 4 games in Pittsburgh, they are 2-4. So that's encouraging.
What?
They've won 2 out of the last 4 games in Pittsburgh.
Okay. The way you said it didn't make it sound like it was 2-4.
Yeah.
You said
the Bengals have
like
won
2-4.
2 of their last 4 games in Pittsburgh.
It's statistics, Zach. Statistics. It's okay.
So they've also, we could say 50%.
That would have been the logical thing to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Or 0.5. We can keep
when you
going.
When you say 2-4, I'm thinking 2 out of the last 4 games. You said 2, 4 losses. Math isn't math in there.
Hey, sorry, I gotta break it down. I gotta get it for you there. You spent too much time in Alabama, Zach.
You're right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to reel in from that. What was I supposed to talk about?
Your portion of the Steelers preview this week.
All right, so Steelers preview. I think Joe Burrow just needs to come out and be Joe Burrow. Don't overdo it. Just be yourself and be the MVP caliber quarterback you are. Need to just completely dominate offense and control time and possession. That's going to be huge. So balancing out the run and the pass, establishing the fact that we're going to have a decent run game. When we run on defense, we just need to make sure essentially that we have a mediocre, at least, performance on defense. 1, maybe 2 turnovers, Trey Hendrickson or Joseph Osai getting a sack, or Mike Hilton coming off the edge for a sack. Having 1 to 2 sacks changes the game a lot, and especially when those sacks usually come, they're coming at big time. So having Trey and Mike Hilton having a sack, and maybe throwing Joseph Osai or BJ Hill in there for another one is going to make a big change. So I think big key to the game: don't play soft zone. Simplify your defense and get to Russell Wilson. Don't let him be mobile.
I like it. Zach, you got anything to add to that?
If you want to know why we're laughing about that, it's It's literally what we've talked about for every preview this week or this year. It seems like every time the Bengals have gotten beat, it seems because it's on that. So on the statistics side of the ball, they have fallen to 13th in scoring, still 8th in points allowed. They are plus 15 on takeaways this year for the entire season. We're only plus 4. Pass defense, they've fallen to 24th. We're still ranked 26th, so we moved up. They're coming down. So Joe's going to probably have a good time in the passing game. Their passing offense, 25th, 196 yards a game. However, they are 10th in rushing. We are not with 130 yards a game. I don't know where we are. I think we were 29th.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah. So you got to contain Najee like we did. Oh my gosh, Henry. Yep, like we did for Henry in that first game in Cincinnati. And if we can do that, I think we're going to be okay. And then Freiermuth. Freiermuth can't have a game.
No.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Cover the tight end. Jesus, Mother Mary and Joseph. Cover the tight end.
Just play football. To put it in the most John Madden way ever, just play football. Just get out there and, hit people, cover people, catch the ball, play football.
Score touchdowns.
Score touchdowns. Yeah. The team that wins more or scores more points usually wins the game. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. So let Joe Burrow just light it up and score a lot of points, and that brings us to prediction time. And we've all been correct on the winner lately, so that's good. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll go first on this one. It's an AFC North battle. I know the last game was a lot higher scoring, and I want to go with the higher scoring trend, but I don't think I can because Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are usually just a slugfest, even though Pittsburgh somehow pulls it out all the time. I can't even say it and not throw up. But I think the Bengals are going to end up winning this one 24-20. And the last touchdown by the Steelers won't really – I think the Bengals will be in control most of the game and win 24-20.
Zach, what do you got? I'll go last.
I've gone back and forth on this because I would really love for this to be like the Chiefs game where they only scored 6 points. But like Casey alluded to, this is an AFC North game, and I think we're just going to battle it out. I'm going to go 19-16.
Bengals?
Of course.
See, I like where you guys are going with it being close. Problem is both their defensive has been mediocre to awful, especially the Bengals and then the Steelers of late. I think it's going to be higher scoring. I'm going to say probably more along the lines of 31-28 Bengals.
All right. So we got a high score, a moderate score, and a lower score. Okay, I like it. We'll see if that pans out. As long as it pans out in a Bengals victory, that's about all we care about.
It could be 2-0, and we just score on the safety and win. I don't care.
We are talking 1920s football with that kind of score. I like it.
6-3, like the Bears game last Thursday.
Oh, that was miserable. That was so hard to watch. I felt so bad for both teams.
That's a good baseball game, 6-3. Not a good football game.
No,
not a good football game.
That was so rough. I felt so bad for both organizations and their fans.
Well, hey, but we've been there. Like everybody was watching the Giants game, they're talking about, this poor franchise. I'm like, hey, I've been there. I feel for you guys.
Oh yeah,
we've been in the middle of the suck many times, and we're not great right now. I mean, we're on the outside looking in right now. Hopefully, you can turn it around. And we're to our open mic portion here. Any topics you gentlemen want to bring up?
What likelihood do you guys think there is that we actually make the darn playoffs? I mean, how likely is it that you think that the other crap is going to happen outside the Bengals winning? So Denver losing and who's the other team? Miami losing. So Miami losing and Denver losing. How likely is it that you guys think that's going to happen?
Casey, I defer to you.
Well, I will first say with my heart as a lifelong Bengals fan, which I told you guys in the group chat how I feel about being a Bengals fan, but I'll always be one. But it's torture and heartbreak. With my heart, I want to say there's a 50% chance. But with my head, I say there's a 5% chance. I would not put $1 on this game, on them making the playoffs, because there's too many things that have to fall in place. And backup quarterback playing in Kansas City that's going to be playing in Denver, that's going to be a rough game. If it was in Kansas City, I'd give him a little bit more benefit of the doubt. Aaron Rodgers literally got a roughing penalty, which was the most hilarious roughing penalty I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how it was roughing, but he's falling apart. When Tyrod Taylor throws the 2 touchdowns and Aaron Rodgers throws the 2 interceptions, you're just like, what universe are we living in? So the Jets are a giant dumpster fire. And then the Bengals and Steelers, we have all seen so many games that should have been easy Bengals wins, or the Bengals should have beat the Steelers, and they just find ways to lose. I mean, I'm hoping that's not what happens, but the likelihood of all 3 of those, like, if you are a betting person and you have free income, that's disposable right now, I would put money on this game, because if it does hit, like all 3 of those things happen, you're going to make good money on it. But Zach, what do you think?
So I looked at the stats before the game of like the percentages of this happening. It's like an 8% chance that this could actually happen. But you know what? We had a 1% chance at one point. Mm-hmm. Then we were at a 5% chance. We were all the way up after the Giants game to a 21% chance. But because, the Browns being the Browns this season, we dropped back down to 8%. The Dolphins only have a 13%. The rest of it goes to the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Vegas is putting their money into the Broncos. I don't know. I would take that parlay if it were me and I was in a state where I could actually do those kinds of things. But then again, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I think Tua not playing could actually benefit. And you know what? Because you brought it up, Aaron Rodgers not playing might actually benefit the Bengals as well. Because Tyrod Taylor is also playing for a starting job next year. So between Carson Wentz and Tyrod Taylor, sign me up.
Win a game. Just win this game, guys. That's all you got to do for us. Just win one game. Nick?
It's just one day. Just one time.
Yep.
All it takes is one time. Okay? I'm bringing back the Little Giants speech. That one time. Okay? Zach, say it.
No, I was going to go a different speech. I was just getting ready for you.
Oh, my gosh. One time. That's all it takes. Put your head on right. Strap on your cleats, get your helmet on, and come out ready to work. For the love of all that is holy, please, for the love of God, Carson Wentz and Tyrod Taylor come out and play a good football game and win a game.
Or Aaron Rodgers, whoever it is.
Whoever the Jets quarterback is at the time. Who cares? I don't even care who it is. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you.
I mean, I'm going to say we've seen this happen before. That's the other scary thing. And before I give it to Nick to talk his percentages, multiple times as a Bengals fan, we have seen this happen where the Bengals have a crazy scenario literally line up perfectly for them and they lose.
But here's the thing, though. We play first.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
We play first. We win and we wait. But now, granted, both of those games are at the exact same time, which is kind of asinine if you ask me.
I don't have enough TVs to watch it at the same time.
Yeah, phone and TV, just bounce them back.
I'm going to have like my computer out, watching one game on my computer, one game on the TV. I'm going to have my wife yelling and screaming at me, "Why are you watching football so much? Oh my gosh." Come on. Like, this is important for me. I care about this. I care about the Bengals, and I get enjoyment out of it. So leave me alone.
Or, worst case scenario, we end up with we don't watch football again until next fall. So Sunday may not even matter to us at all. Hopefully it does, but it may not. We'll just have to wait and see. Nick, did you have any percentage view you wanted to give here?
I think that there is a greater than a 50% chance that it happens. I think that we're probably about a 75% chance. We've played really well in Pittsburgh the last, 4 times that we played there.
Yep.
The last time we got blown out was like 3 or 4 years ago in Pittsburgh. So I think that, what was it, a couple years? Was it the Super Bowl year? We actually came into Pittsburgh and solidified our playoff hopes right before going into the Raiders.
Yeah.
All we had to do was beat the Raiders and we were in.
Yep.
So, hey, I remembered something. That was a long time ago. I am so happy I remembered that properly. But seriously, like we have a chance, and we have Joe Burrow, and I just see it happening. I see it. I feel it. I feel it's going to happen.
So what I just heard is Nick is going to put a tiny bit of money on it and buy us all a round of drinks next time we're together. That's what I heard.
I'm probably going to put $10 on Joe Burrow getting in the playoffs.
I like it. It's the optimism we need here.
Going back to Nick's speech that he was giving earlier, the speech that came to mind, because I'm sure there's going to be somebody wondering, like, why was he getting so animated? I went to Any Given Sunday.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking it's a game of inches, whether in the football game or in life. It's taking it 1 inch at a time. It's a game of inches. I could go the Rick Thompson speech as well. You got to do the little things in order to accomplish the big things.
God bless that man. But he was right. As crazy as it sounds, and as like we might have thought at the time that this is so stupid. Why does he keep on saying this stuff? When you get older, you realize it's those little things in life that make the big things worthwhile.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If I can't trust you to do the little things, how am I going to trust you to do the big things?
Exactly.
That's a direct quote that has been in my mind for like 20 years. It is so ingrained in me that I remember it verbatim. I actually use it today as a leader in the Army. Mm-hmm. I tell my office that all the time because I have people in my office that want to do bigger things, but I can't trust them to do the little things. So if you want me to give you the little things or the big things, you got to be able to do the little things.
Exactly.
Like showing up on time.
Whoa. That's fired. Wow.
How do you like your toast?
This is not Talking Bengals After Dark, so we're going to keep it clean here and not go into a rag session on each other.
You like dirty. Your toast burnt. You like your toast burnt.
That was dirty. You're dirty.
He's just getting you back for his reel that went almost viral there with him trying to do the gritty.
That was hilarious.
Oh,
that was such a great reel.
I think we're falling off here. So
hold on. Before you do that, last thing, because you brought up reels. The amount of comments that our reels have been getting lately are so off the rails. And they're from all over across like different fan bases. What you don't understand about these reels is they're just for fun. They're for laughs. They're not serious. Do I really think Joe Burrow's going to look at Mike Brown in the face and be like, come on, I know you. You know me. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the other one? The script. The NFL script. Do I really believe the NFL is scripted? No, I don't believe it's scripted. Okay? It was just funny because it's one of those things that the internet likes to talk about, that the NFL is scripted. It was a hee ha ha. Get over it. Take a joke.
With that being said, we do welcome all your comments. We will ridicule you right back, and we enjoy that. We're a bunch of guys in our 30s who will just ridicule you right back, and you can't hurt our feelings. So we love the nice comments and all the love that we're getting from everybody. But if you want to come at us, bro, please. It'll be fun for us. You'll make it fun. Anyways, Zach's been doing a fantastic job. The Real Game is crushing it right now. We got a lot of different merch that we just dropped. If you haven't seen the new Burrow ones, we got a vintage Burrow doing the gritty. We got a straight out of Cincy shirt with Burrow doing the gritty. We got the Better in Cincinnati, which I already mentioned, with T. Higgins holding a three-way chili. How can you not love that shirt? It's awesome. And he is better in Cincinnati, so keep him here. But Zach, you want to give your closing thoughts and plug the socials?
My closing thoughts are a thank you to all you beautiful people, and it is nice to have meaningful football going into the first weekend of January. So shout out to Joe and the team for actually making this season interesting when we felt like we were dead in the water a mere 4 weeks ago. So that's really nice. If you don't already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or now X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, anywhere you think we might have a social media platform. We have it. Follow us. If we don't have it, let us know. We'll jump on. We'll try out your new ventures.
Word. Nick, what you got?
Well, we know Zach will try it out. Anyways.
Us old people might not. If you're born in the 80s on this show, you may not get on that, but we'll see.
All I'm going to say is MySpace was a thing.
I still have that. I still have access to my
I believe
actually.
you. Oh, I believe you.
Only because I was trying to get pictures off the interwebs, but some of them got just lost in their data center, thankfully.
Well, apparently, you can also follow Talking_Bengals on MySpace.
Don't tip me, Casey. Don't tip me.
Back to my final thoughts. If the NFL was scripted, think about the script for the Bengals being irrelevant coming into week 10. All of a sudden, next thing you know, week 11, oh, they're winning. Week 12, they win. Week 13, they win. Oh, God, now they're relevant in week 15. Week 16, they win. Now they're ultra relevant. Now, oh, crap. Stars align. Now they're in the playoffs. Now, oh, wait. Joe Burrow is on a streak. Him and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are just going off the chains. Next thing you know, they're in New Orleans playing against Minnesota and blow the Vikings out of the water, and they win the freaking Super Bowl in New Orleans, in Louisiana, back where Joe and Jamar and Cade York all played together. Tell me a better script. If there was going to be an NFL script, tell me how that script gets any better.
Oh no, that'd be a great story. I mean,
I got cold chills thinking about it.
There's no way that wouldn't be one of the greatest NFL single season stories ever told. Because a team that was dead in the water and just come all the way back and win the Super Bowl, beautiful. No other way to talk about it. Just
my beard hairs are standing up.
I think the only other team that could match that is probably the 2007 Giants.
Yeah.
With Eli coming in as the 6th seed, never been done before, and they beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think that is the only other team that could probably hold a candle to the story that we could potentially have come the second week of February.
I mean, that's what we're all hoping for. I mean, either starting next weekend, we're either in playoff mode or off-season mode, and we got to see how it goes. We're all hoping to be in playoff mode because off-season, when there's not real football to talk about, and we don't care about the rest of the NFL, so we're not going to be really talking much on the other playoff games if the Bengals aren't there. So please give us more fun things to talk about in 2025, which brings me into my closing thoughts. 2025 is going to be a huge year here at Talkin Bengals and Season Enterprises because it is the 10th anniversary of when this all got started, and there'll be different events, different stuff we put out there talking about the 10-year anniversary. But, these guys have joined the team. They have done fantastic stuff. And, I mean, if you'd have told me 10 years ago from a little sports writing venture that I started would actually balloon into something massive like this, which has almost 5,000 followers on Facebook, growing on all of the social media platforms, selling merchandise as a real legitimate business, and get to hang out with two of my best friends and talk every week. Who can complain about that? We're all blessed. So thank you guys for supporting us through this. Hopefully the Bengals keep us talking about fun things, and we're really looking forward to 2025 and the 10 years of Talkin Bengals. Who Dey?
Who Dey?
Who Dey?